Looking good right there. Everybody's just fabulous today. So I'm going to show you literally every single step. Once you get your contact paper on the canvas, right? We cut it out into a little oval. Once you get it stuck on the canvas, we're going to peel it off at the end. But now we've got a nice dry surface that we need to get wet. So we're going to take a small amount of our Grumbacher's liquid white, right? You can get the Grumbacher stuff, you can get the Bob Ross stuff, and we just want to scrub it around our canvas, kind of gripping it from over here and dragging it up here. As you can see, we just need a very thin coat, and you can see how thin it is when you go across that contact paper. It becomes very, very, very thin. So be gentle around the edges of these stencils, that's for sure, right? And we got these stencils from Danny over at Happily Painted Studios over there. And everybody's seeming to love them. So we're going to be putting them in the store very soon. You'll be able to get oval shapes, different states, different animals, grizzly bears, polar bears, wolves, all sorts of stuff. And you'll be able to find those in my store. I'm trying to get her to put them in her store, but she wants to put them in my store, so that's what we're going to do. There we go. Fabulous, right? Cover our whole area with a very thin coat of our Grumbacher's liquid white. See that very thin bit? Everywhere that we touch should have about the same thin coating of this stuff. And then we can actually paint a painting, which is going to be a lot of fun. Now, we're going to be doing a recognizable scene on a recognizable mountain called Mount Hood, right up here in Oregon. And it's a fantastically shaped little mountain. Very, very much recognizable in the shape. So, the shape has to be perfect, right? And then we're going to peel off our little oval thing. All we're doing is put a little bit of blue out on the canvas. That's it. Little touch of blue out there in the sky. The more blue that we put on, the darker the sky is going to be, right? And we can always go back and put a little bit of our black paint on it as well, just to help it blend or mix down to however we want, right? I want to have my light side coming from my left and my dark side coming from my right. So I'm just going to get a small touch of black. There, just even that much, right? Just a couple little swipes, and then we can blend it and blend it and blend it until you get a slightly darker color sky on our one side. There we go. And a lighter blue sky on our other side. That'll indicate that our light is coming from one way and our dark side of our sky is from another, right? There we go. Let's not let it get too wildly, crazily everywhere. And then don't even worry about how far it goes down, because our mountain overtakes a lot in this painting. You lose a whole lot to the mountain, especially if you're using a oval stencil like that. And if not, you're still going to lose a whole lot of your canvas to this mountain. It's a big, big, big guy, right? Covering a lot of space and only having a couple things up in the foreground of our mountain. So, you guys, we also have two other versions of this painting available over there. We're going to start right out here, very sharp on this one. It's literally just straight up like that. Straight up from the side of our canvas, scoop away all that dark paint, and then we're going to make almost like a rounded top. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? But it's a little rounded top mountain, kind of flat over there. And then we're going to start dipping down. And as we go down, we're going to want to project up these little guys, just like that, little bits that kind of drop down. You can pick up, scrape up that paint, get it out on the front of our blade again. Little things as they come down, very shallow in their angle, right? And then all of a sudden, there's this projection of rock that pops up over here. So as we're going down, right, a little bit more paint onto our knife, palette tool. As we come down, we scrape it down, and then we get this little, it's like a big hump. It's almost the size of our palette knife, and it's almost rectangular, right? And then it'll start to dip down, become very flat off the edge over here. So all we're doing is scraping up our paint, dropping it in other places. You can use these palette tools for lots of stuff, right? Literally flat it, scrape it up, scrape it up, scrape it up, drop it down, let it fill in for us, and that way it won't be so thick when we go to push it outwards. You've got less paint out there on the canvas, right? Very cute, you guys. I'm liking it, I'm liking it. Yeah, literally exactly what it looks like. And we flow out to the side. So, scrape up all this excess paint so we don't have any more. You guys just do one thing, just check in, tell me where you're watching from, just where you're from around the world. Let me know. We can even do this big old guy with our big old 2-inch brush. Get right up along the edge, slide it out. right? As we slide down this way, we're dropping down a little bit, dropping down, and then we're taking all this paint down here and just pulling it out and letting it mix in with that liquid white that's underneath, which is why you get that foggy, faded look, is that gray paint is mixing in with the white paint. Okay, now, off of this side, we're gonna grab it on that ridge, slide it out, let it grow, you guys. It's gotta grow downward, downward, downward. This guy, we're gonna go off the back a little bit, so you're feeding back, and then cut through him like that, so it'll show a little bit of land feeding one way, and then take this guy, slide it out, drag from the edges inward when you're using these stencils for sure. You'll get less sneakage that way, I like to call it. A little less sneakage back there. Right now, we may need to grab a little bit more darkness onto our brush and add it down in there to keep that ridge nice and shadowy. And then you can let it kind of blend in. Again, the more you mix it with this bit of paint and that liquid white that's underneath our canvas, the more it will mix away into this fog. And then when we peel off this stencil, guys, oh, it's gonna just be gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Can't even wait to see it. Fabulous. Okay, now we're gonna need to mix up a lot of our snowy mix. We don't need too much blue, but we're gonna need a lot of titanium white. So we need our white and our blue paint. I've got the ultramarine blue. You can use whatever blue you want, and the more blue that you add to it, the deeper, darker blue it will become. Right, so again, there's not much in this painting as far as foreground stuff, so we can make our shadows a little bit darker than normal, but same sort of blue sky color as our sky out there. Can you see? You see the matching color out there? Now we're gonna pull down on this guy, pulling it very flat, wiping off our blade down here, just like this. Right, and then we'll come in and we need to put some shadows. If we have our dark sky here and our light sky here, let's attach our blade and let's go back this way. Just underneath our little friend back here, sliding a little bit of that blue back behind our light color that we know is gonna be there. Now, in this one, there's a lot of bare rock up here, so let's just take a bit of our snow. The only place it could stick was right there. Pull it back up from the bottom if you're not trying to sneak underneath your little guy. Right, but not everywhere on this mountain has snow on it. And in fact, if we came down over here like this, pulling off in this little different direction, this guy's got snowy highlights all sorts of ways. I'm telling you, I've been looking at the reference photo. I've painted 2 of them already. This will be the 3rd one. We come down this way, come down this way. All this stuff down here is going to turn into mist, so you don't very much have to worry about your ridge. But that ridge is a very flat ridge. Runs along the side, down and down, leaving some of our darker uncovered area for our rocky highlights, right? Now, let's come over here, grab about 2 times as much white as we grabbed the first time, 1 little touch of our blue over there, and then we'll mix it in, mixing it up, and we know that we've kind of tainted this white a little bit. We may need to get a little bit more. There. Now, we've got this very, very, very bright blue color that looks almost white, but we can tell it's not pure titanium white. If it's pure titanium white off in the distance, it's just not gonna work, you guys. Literally, literally, literally. Here we go. Another violation on TikTok. Perfect. Don't you just love it over there? Don't you just love it? Now, if anything reminds me of a Bob Ross scene, it is these ovals, you guys. They're so cool. And they just remind me of a Bobby painting instantly. Just instantly. Remember, don't need too much. Leave some of our exposed rock as well. Now we're gonna come over and scrape up some of this titanium white. We're gonna probably have to restart over on TikTok, so if you're not following me already, then give me the follow now, because we're gonna start over and you may not be able to find me again. All right, we're gonna take our white, we're gonna come up in here, attach, and let it flow down. Long strokes, floating over the canvas, right? Very lightly floating. You're just grazing across certain areas. Our light's not going to hit everywhere, right? Doesn't have to get up along every edge or everything. Yeah. Little bits. Float down across our little snowy region. And all we're doing is floating our blade about 1/16 of an inch, however thick your paint roll is out here. That's how far you have to hover off of the canvas to allow it to float down and then pick up in different places. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. This eye's very vertical back here. There, right? Let's creep over into my shadowy side so it's not just a perfect thing. Maybe get over a little bit further again so it's not just a perfect thing. And then with enough paint on our blade, slide it down. You can even pick it up, drop it off in different places. Don't worry about this left area too much because we're gonna put a big old monster tree in there, you guys. Just like that. Let our snow flow down, filling in little areas that you want to fill. We don't have to fill in every space. It's very much exactly like that, you guys. I'm telling you, if I ain't done told you once, I'm telling you now. Look at that. Again, little bits of snow out there on our mountain side. And again, we don't even have to worry too much about this far left area because we're gonna have some big old foreground bits. I just wanna get right up along the side there. Very lightly floating, and floating it away. Little cool little things, you guys. And the more you do, the more cool little bits you're gonna drop off. Very neat. Now, we gotta go back and mist up all of this stuff, taking away some of our details. Coming from off the stencil, back this way. See, we're kind of taking away some of that thickness of the paint. You can still see it's there, it still flows down, but this is now in focus and this is out of focus and faded, right? Now remember, if you're watching, we're gonna restart the TikTok show. So if you guys can give me a follow over there, we're gonna restart and then you're not gonna know how to find me again if you're not already following me. If you guys are watching over on YouTube, just give me a thumbs up. All we need you to do is hit that thumbs up button and that'll help bring more people into the stream so we can reach more people, guys. So we're gonna end the TikTok stream and then we will come back and refire it back up and it's gonna be amazing. So we'll see you guys in a second. All right, that's such a joke, dude. Honestly, do not understand. And I know you guys on YouTube don't care, I know, but I gotta try to reach as many people as possible if I wanna try to sell the paintings, you know what I mean? I gotta have a big enough reach, and there's lots of people that watch over there. There we go. Now, all we're doing is softening these details, right? Just by very lightly grazing across them, taking away some of our stuff, really, right? You still see that it's there. We're just taking away some of that thick paint. Now we're gonna come back from this side, grazing it. Remember, you don't even need to go all the way to the edge because we're gonna have a big old tree sitting right here, taking away all that stuff that you can see, right? So don't go all the way to the side, even though your brain tells you to. Don't. Okay, we're gonna come in here and start tapping. Whole brush right there, tap it in. All we're trying to do is soften any amount of paint that is residual in this area by tapping at it, okay? Once we've tapped at it, we can come in here and we can mix it up into a soft little bit of that grayish, bluish color underneath. Now we got some foggy area. We can go back and put our forest in, right? This guy, we're gonna do the same thing. Tapping it. All we're doing, tip, tap, and touching is all we got out there, right? And we'll mix it up. Again, softening that layer down so it's not such a thick area of white right here, right? Because we're gonna come through and we're gonna take it out. Now, sometimes you end up going a bit too far. So when we come back in here, let's just launch in a couple more little things. There we go. Yeah. I don't want to see too much more than that, okay? Now that we're down into our kind of this whole painting is basically mid-ground because you got your background of your sky and your clouds and your mountain, and then you got your foreground, your background trees before you get to the front. So let's not go too wild and crazy. Let's get a little bit of our black. Let's do triple the crimson this time. Let's do 3 times crimson, 1 part blue, 1 part black. All right, we'll mix it up down here. And it should just be more purpley because we've added that crimson-y red. That, even mixed with the black, will make it much more purpley. Right, there we go. Now we'll have these 2 different colors that we can work with, okay? So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna take into our background color, that nice purple dark color that we made right here, wiggle down on our little fan brush, just like so. Wiggling it, and then we'll come out here and let's decide, we know we gotta have some stuff off here and we don't wanna go up and fight all of that snow up there, right? If we're trying to go too high up into that snow, it's just not gonna work. That's why we have to soften those areas. And so you can put these trees in that little soft layer. Right? You're going to try and fight up all that heavy paint. It's just not going to be fun for you. You're not going to enjoy it. You won't like it, guys, I'm telling you. Okay, now, let's come out there again, a little bit further over, and then we can come in with another little section. Just tapping them in, tapping them in. They don't all need to be the same height. They don't all have to be the same bit of darkness. All they have to do, really, is just sit back there. They're just sitting back there, and then we're going to push up on them. And as we push up and then come down here, it leaves whatever residual paint that we grabbed, right? We're going to drag that up into the base of our trees, just like so. Right? Now, we have to start tapping at all that stuff, letting it mix in with that liquid white, and just becoming a softer, more gorgeous color than you ever thought you could paint out there in the night, right? Come back in, even off the stencil, mix it up, mix it up, mix it up, mix it up. All right, now, you can decide where your next section comes in if you want to have another bit of forest crisscrossing down in front or whatever. Right? What we're going to do is go back to that original black mix. So we got our black, we got our blue, a bunch of skin, or is that usable paint? I can't remember. Black, blue, and crimson right over here. And now we need to remember and tell ourselves, right? Hey, self, try not to make these trees too big, right? Because in my head, I want to make them bigger. You know what I mean? It's just, they're just more fun. We're gonna try not to make these ones too large. We're gonna come right up here, drag down, right there. Not even going all the way to the bottom, okay? Because I want them to not be too stinking big. And as we come off of this side, pop in a bit of that darkness, a bit of that texturous paint, which makes it being a darker color. See what we do is our 2 parts or 3 parts crimson up here, and then we got our 2 to 2 to 1 right here. See how it's a darker mix? That will bring this tree out in front to say hello to our other trees, right? Again, we don't need too many, and these trees are all sat down into a big bunch of darker forest that is in front of them, right? That way, we'll have these two different sets, and these are just the big old guys that kind of stand out as being much larger than everybody else. If we came in like this, right there, just a little sharper, there we go. Come off of this guy just by tapping onto it. And the more we go down, the more we tap on, filling up that space, not even going all the way down though, because I want to have some more mist in there. We don't want to get too wild and too nuts. Let's go back again, wiggling down on our brush. Wiggle, 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 down like that. We've got this little area over here, right? We can continue to pop in these little guys, or you can get wild and say, let's throw in another one. Let's see what happens if, just if we were to come up there, launch it off that side, right? Come out here, little taps, little taps, little taps. Now, you can decide how you want to highlight these guys, if you want to highlight these guys, right? Because they don't all have to be high lit. With the morning sun shining down on our mountain like that, these can literally all be silhouettes if we want. I'm gonna do it. I'm so gonna do it. I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it this time, right? We're gonna take all this stuff, again, dragging it from the bottom, treating it like it was our background forest back there. Okay, drag it, drag it, drag it. And we're gonna come in and again, mush on, trying to create a bit of misty fogginess. And we've got the different foggy mixtures back there. Come down, maybe tapping in, certainly would come up a little bit higher, go down a little bit more. And it's just filling in our bottom space. Oh, isn't that fabulous if you can come up here with our mist like that? Excellent, my friends. How high do you want your mist to go? All up to you, right? We're just creating another section like this, a little bit closer so it's darker. We can see a few more of our trees up there in the night. Now, guys, I got a big question for you, okay? I got a question for you. Should we do an enormous trunky tree? You guys know my big old trunks, right? Right through there, right, coming down so it'll look really close, and maybe we overhang a couple branches out into the oval. Man, or we do one more tree like this, pop it right here. That's okay, I'm not gonna, I had a plan, I knew what I was gonna do. I've done this painting twice before, and at this very moment messed it up twice before, right? And then we had to go back and fix it, and now I love both of those other two. You can also find this painting and those other two over on my place over there. You guys know where to go. All right, let's come up here. Oof. Right there. Pull it down. All right, we have to go off stencil. Go off stencil up top. And then when we peel the stencil off, we're going to reveal and then put on the tip top of our tree up there, okay? So let's start it out and we can get a feel for what it might look like as we start coming down and popping in little things, little back and forth, almost like a little Z shape. Kind of come down, you pop out, come down, you pop out, leaving little spaces. Not every tree has to be so filled, right? And then we can go back and fill it in later if we really want to. And we can really go back and fill it in, right? Now, the more that we go down, the more we're going to end up covering. I like covering the center area a bit more. Just like that. Fabulous. Oh, he's a 3.5. No matter what your branches look like as they come out here, right? The center area has to be filled. We can't see through that spot, okay? Now, we need to get up a little bit more of our paint because you start running out. And when you run out, you need all that texture. You forget that it's not just the color. You need all that texture when you're making those big old trees, right? So, just a little bit more of our paint up there. Come down here, wiggle down through it. Out there, try to make it a little bit more textury. Drop down skinny ones, right? Then we'll come out a bit further again. Crisscrossing over our other guy, wherever we want it to be. It can be the biggest thing out here, guys. It's out here in the ground of 4. There. Gorgeous. Look at that big old monster, right? He's a monster. Doesn't have to be perfect, remember. Doesn't have to connect. Doesn't have to be symmetrical or whatever your brain is telling you. It does not have to be, okay? Now, we can even make it bigger as we come up this way and then have it go even taller off of our canvas by the time that we come down, right? But we're going to do that at the very end. Actually, since we're not misting these guys up, guys, hang on now. We may be pulling off the stencil right about now. If you just give me a hot second, we might be removing the stencil. So, if you're ready to see the stencil come off, and then we can do the top part of that tree, and by the time we come down here, we're just gonna stop, Josh. We don't need to go any further down that way, right? Oh, I love him. Okay, here we go. Are you guys ready to see the removal? The removal process, and then we'll get up there and we'll put our little tip top on, and then we'll highlight just this one tree. Oh, he's gonna be gorgeous. He is gonna be gorgeous, you guys. There. There. Oh, man. That's not the most fantastic little thing you've ever seen. Then I don't know what kind of trees you're looking at, because I'm looking at this guy, and he's looking pretty big. Oh, he's very cool. Okay. Now, are you ready to see it? Are you ready to peel off the stencil and see what we've done? See the creation and the mess that we have made? Here we go. Let's peel it off, guys, right now. Nice and slow like. There. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. Look at this. You guys. Oh, man. That's pretty. That is pretty right there, okay? Now, we need the right amount of paint in order to create the rest of this tree on the top. And this is the only place that I want it to stick out of this painting, okay? So no matter what yours looks like, no matter what you think, okay? I've done it 3 times. Don't let them come out very far. Let's come up here. There we go, right there. And because the canvas is dry, you almost have to do it twice, right? That's gonna be fantastic. Right up through here, tapping, tapping, tapping. Filling it up. There we go. There we go, guys. Look at that tree. Oh, he's fantastic. Just look at him. Don't you dare go outside. Now, you guys just sit tight right there. We're going to put some highlights on this guy, right? Everything else is in the shadows, and we might be changing the class to this painting versus the other one that we just did. I told Danny, whenever we do that, this is what's going to happen, right? You make a decision and you go, okay, we're going to pick 1 out of 2. We pick this one, and then whichever, you go make the event, and then you go do another one that ends up being perfect. I knew it was going to happen. I said it. Okay, let's get out here. I'm going to show you a very cool little trick, okay? With just blue, which we don't have, so I need to get some more out. With just blue and white, I'm not very prepared. With just blue, it's actually that we went through all of this paint that we had out on there, making all these giant trees and such. But with just some blue and some white and that blackish, purplish color that's up here already, I'm gonna show you how to make a snow-covered tree that's gonna blow your mind, okay? And all you gotta do is tell me where you're watching from out there in the day. Where are you watching from around the world? We're gonna take our liquid white, we're gonna go into our blue. Right, the liquid white is the base coat that we use, and it helps the blue paint become less firm, much more wet in its consistency, right? We'll pop on a little bit of blue. Now my main goal is to not cover up every piece of our darkness with this blue paint. Right, if we cover up every little thing and every spot on the canvas becomes perfectly blue with no gaps in between, then you're gonna mess it up. I'm telling you right now, right? You're gonna look at it and you're not gonna like it because it's too blue or it's too bright or whatever the case. We'll go about halfway across, maybe sometimes a little bit further over with our shadows, which are just little splotches of color coming off of our fan brush, sticking onto our tree. Do not cover all the dark. I say it all the time. I'm talking directly to you. Do not cover all of the dark paint, okay? I'm gonna show you why. We're gonna come over here with our liquid white into our titanium white, and it does the exact same thing. It takes our thicker paint, that titanium white, and it makes it much thinner in its consistency, which is going to allow it to drop off of the brush and attach itself onto the canvas nice and simply, right? You do not want to have a full brush. Keep it nice and low out there on the end of the bristles, right? No full brush in it. You don't want to have too much. We're going to come up here, we're going to tap on, and now we're going to go off of this side, and we're going to attempt to not cover all of the dark paint. Now, your brightness only lasts for so long, and then you have to flip the brush over because your brightness is starting to dull itself down, right? Using just that front corner and just that front corner. And as we drop off the white, we pick up the dark shadow color that's underneath. Right? So you have to go wash your brush off, go back with the liquid white, back with the titanium white. You have to have a mix of both. Don't try to get all squirrely and make them, you know, be like, oh, I can just do it. If you get a spot that's too bright, stop tapping on it with your bright white and just go back and let it mix in and mix away with that darkness, okay? And then boom, one more little splitch splotch. But if you keep hitting it with the white, it's just gonna continue to get brighter and brighter and brighter. Now stay inside, Josh, there we go. Inside. Now we're gonna crisscross into our blue section just a little. So we're over into it a bit. Doesn't have to be, again, a straight line. Don't have to cover up all your blue area with all of your white, right? Just let it flow across like that, okay? Looking fantabulous. If there is ever a space that you don't like, it's too bright, get back in there with that heavy dark color and darken it out properly. Then wash your brush off, go back in with that liquidy white mix, right? You have to have the liquid white. Otherwise the titanium white's just not gonna budge. Not gonna do what you want it to do. Very small little tip tappers, little chip chappers, and you fill up an area very quickly. So don't overdo it. Look at that for a tree, guys. Look at this for an old monster of a tree out here in the day. There we go. Each time we do it, it's another chance to do it a little bit differently. But doesn't that make that tree just pop out? Just crazy. So you guys start coming up with an idea for a title on this one. What are we going to title this painting right here? This little sweet little oval featuring Mount Hood, Oregon, with one giant tree right up there in the front. Man, much better than last time. Thank you. I appreciate that. Love you. Appreciate that, guys. Very cool. Thank you, Mindy. You guys are awesome. Man, it came out so crisp over on YouTube. Woo, baby. Now we got to get back in there. We got to sign it with our little bird family, right? So we're going to get over here. We're going to grab up our odorless mineral spirits on the Paint with Josh liner brush. The Paint with Josh liner brush. We're going to come out like this. Get down in there. Do a test first. There we go. Caw-caw! Just let them fly over old Mount Hood. Looks like they're about to fly right out of our painting. And then, left or right, guys? What do you think? Go left, go right. I love the purpley forest in the back with that mist, and then our darker forest with the darker mist. Ooh, oof! I love it. I love it. You see, guys say right side, right side. Yeah, we got our big old tree on the left side, right? Way over here. Sliding it on a dry canvas is even different than when it's on a wet canvas for sure. Guys, that one came out amazing. Literally took 30 minutes. 30 minutes to do the whole thing. Quite honestly. What more could you ask for? Get yourself some contact paper, cut an oval out of it, stick it onto your canvas. Like I said, Danny's going to be hooking me up with a lot of these, a lot of ovals, a lot of different shapes, a lot of animal shapes and different things. So if you like these things, they're going to be available soon. They'll be available soon. Man, that looks so neat. Now, you guys got to come up with a title for me. Let me know what you think as far as a title. Oh, that is so classic. Just, if anything makes me think of Bob, it's these oval scenes, like for real. Frosted Sentinel. That is a title. That is a title and a half. Misty Mountain. I dig that. Let's see. Let's see. You guys are wicked awesome. Growing Out of the Hood. That's cool. I like that. Look at those trees. The mist in the front. Everything is just perfect. Just perfection on this one, guys. Purple Haze. I like that one too. Misty Meadows. That's cool. I like that. Let me flip you guys around real quick just so I can read your titles and such. There we go. And have you guys, there we go, be able to see a little bit better. Now we can see each other. Man, look at that. So this one is available, and I also have two other ones that we did. One from last night and then one from earlier today. Let me show you the one from earlier today. It came out really cool. So this guy, same size canvas, same oval, except we let our trees and our landscape kind of feed out over the bottom of the oval, trapping the rest of the scene inside, giving it a bit more depth, as you can see clearly in this photo. So, what do you guys think? What do you think? Do we do the class with this one, with the land spilling out, or do we do the class with everything sealed inside, except for our one focal point of a tree and then having two silhouette trees in the back? I mean, there is three. There's another one right back there, but he got kind of lost to the big guy in the front. But what do you think? We also have this one and then the other one from last night still also available over there. All you got to do is go check out my place. You guys should know how to find it. It's literally my name, and then you put the period, and then you put the COM at the end. Yeah, that one's cool. That one's cool. You guys like the spilling? I like it contained. You know what I mean? Because it's nice and then you got that one thing. Like I said, I've done one with everything all inside the oval. The second one had everything spilling out. And then the third one just has that one piece that's coming out that signifies it's right up here in the foreground. Man, it's fantastic. Literally. I love both. I can't decide. I know, that's my predicament. That's my problem right there. Can't decide. Now I gotta finish cleaning off these brushes. You guys come up with a title for this one, then we'll pick it and we'll sign it on the back. If you purchase this one during the live show, you get to pick the title forever. Right? So think about that. If you've got the best title, you gotta pony up. Very cool. Now this one will be a class up in Hood River at the Mount Hood Town Hall, which is going to be fantastic. We're doing the Mount Hood Town Hall, and we're going to be painting this scene while looking out the window at this scene, which is going to be really neat. So if you're anywhere in the Portland area, or if you know anybody in Portland you could go stay with, it's going to be, I believe, September 28th. Danny, are you here? Can you let us know if it is, in fact, confirmed that it's going to be on the 28th? That's what I'm pretty sure. I forget very easily, though. So, can you let us know those dates? And if you guys see Happily Painted, then pin their answer, please. Right there. Somebody pin that so I don't have to. I really gotta do it. There we go. Thank you. So it is on the 28th. And what do you think, Danny? Should we do this one? Or should we do the other one where it spills out? I think we could probably take both and be like, you could either do this or this, and maybe let people decide as they're painting it that day. You know what I mean? Serene Peaks. I like that. I like it. Lone Pine Peaks. That's a cool title right there. Nobody just wants to call it Mount Hood. Really? Am I just the boring one? Am I the one that's just boring out here? No, not Portland, Maine. Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon out here, guys. On the west coast of America. Really cool, though. Pink Ridge Mountains. I like that. Your paintings, you painted one of my paintings and made it your own? That's excellent. I appreciate you. Periwinkle Valley. That's cool. Snowy Morning Mist. What was Go With The Flow's title again? I really like that. Something Lone Pine Peaks. Something. I can't remember exactly what she had said, but it's something out there. There we go. Zip. Perfect. Okay. What'd she say again? Lone Pine Peaks. That's what it was. I really like that for a title, guys. So let's go with that. Lone Pine Peaks at Old Mount Hood Town Square. No, Town Hall. Again, so if you're in the Portland, Oregon area, good old Portland, just outside that, about 20, 30 minutes outside of Portland, kind of Troutdale area, Hood River area, that's where we're going to be teaching these classes. I hope that you come and say hello, take a class with us, and I think, because Danny did a really, I know she doesn't like it, but she did a really cool version of this painting, and we just can't decide, so maybe we should let the fans decide which painting we should do. You know what I mean? Like, we've got your one, and then we've got my one, or my two anyway. And then let the fans decide. Is this number 2029? Yeah. 2029. I can't believe it. Maybe let the fans decide on which one to go with, as far as either you do it or I do it. Lone Peak. What is it? Lone Pine Peaks. Thank you. Lone Pine Peakers. We come over here. This one was on 8/30/2025, and we're all gonna go check out my place, Paint My Josh. Then you put the period. All right, hang on, I'll show you. Paint My Josh, then you period, then you put this at the end, and then you're all set. It'll take you right over there. Boom, spin this guy around. That is a clean little painting, let me tell you. I am in like with it. Okay. Yeah! So, if you grab this one during the show, you'll no longer get to title it, but you do get to spin the spinny winny wheel, even though it's only $179. My goodness, never done one for so little. Now, go back over here. Remember, we do have other ones. This one's $179. I've got one for $129. I think I have one for $149 too. So whatever your range, right, you should be able to find this painting, and you're gonna love it no matter what. Not even if you're local or not, right? It's a cool little scene. You can imagine, Paint My Josh was like right there, looking at this scene and painting it in a class. So it's gonna be wicked cool. You guys have been amazing. I would have loved to have done a light party on this painting, which would have been really cool. Look at the depth and the distance between that faded out mountain color under our snow, and then those trees, and then this tree. There's so much depth just right there. Guys, holy cow. You guys don't, if no one likes this one enough, that blows my mind. That is mind blowing. Because this one, guys, I don't know if I'll ever paint it better, not even during the class. So let me finish cleaning up, and then we'll say goodbye to y'all, all the y'alls out there in the night. So let's do it. Let's finish it up over on the Tubi Tubes, because I never like the videos to go for too long over there. This one's not very difficult, and you don't want to sit here and listen to me filibuster. So I do love you guys. I can't wait to come back. We'll do it again on Monday. I will not be back. Actually, yeah. So on YouTube, I won't be back on Sunday, nor on TikTok. I won't be here Sunday. I'll be teaching classes in Gaston up at Comfy Paints, pretty sure. We'll be up there teaching classes. The first class is already sold out, and then the second class we've got a few seats left. So check out them if you're in the Gaston or again the Portland area of Oregon, and it's gonna be fantastic. I cannot wait to see your guys' versions of this painting, so please send them in to me over on the FB. It's at official Paint with Josh. On the IG, it's at Paint with Josh K, and over on TikTok, it's also Paint with Josh K. So I love you guys. I can't wait to come back. We'll do it again tomorrow. Let's just have it. We'll do it again on Monday, and until I see you guys again next time, take care. Have the rest of a good day, and bye. Man, this one came out cool. What a great painting.